Welcome to the Positive Pants Podcast. Mindset, motivation and inspiration to help you find your positive pants. It's time to let go of negative thinking, understand why you do what you do and stop the self-sabotage with your host, Fran Excel.
Welcome to the show. As always, it's Fran Excel, your resident subconscious success mentor, helping you find your very own pair of positive pants so you can get out of your own way and live a life that you love. If you want to stop self-sabotaging your own success and let go of the stress, then you are in the right place, my friend. Make sure you download your free Stressed to Success guided meditation at bit.ly/stress to success as my little gift to you just for being here. Please do subscribe, share and review. It really, really helps people that need to hear this message find us, and I so appreciate it. In the show notes, you'll also find details of how you can work with me and where you can get your mitts on my meditations, products, printables, programs. You can find it through the link in my bio on Instagram, which is my favorite place to hang out. So please do come join me over there at I'm Fran Excel. Tag me in your takeaways, slide into my DMs. I'm here for it. So that's the formalities over, my love. So let's jump to the content. What do you do when the inspiration just doesn't hit? This might be in your content creation, when you're setting your goals, when you're creating your programs, or trying to come up with a name for something. What if you sit there, staring at a blank page or the blinking cursor of doom, and it just ain't coming? I see this happen a lot, and the irony is, this very episode is actually a product of one of those moments. When I came to create it, for a moment, the noggin was blank. And then came the idea to create content about not knowing what content to create. So meta. So look, you're a human being. The inspiration isn't always going to be on point when you need it to be. So what do you do when it's not? One thing that I like to do outside those moments to help avoid those moments is I write down everything that pops into my head as an idea when it pops into my head. So I might put it in the notes section on my phone. It takes a couple of seconds. Or sometimes I might email it to myself if I've got more than one thing. You might want to put it in a Trello board or Asana or a Google Doc or write it in your journal. But we're all different. So figure out what works best for you, but never rely on the fact that you think you're going to remember it, because you won't. So that's one thing that I do. That is probably, excuse me, the biggest thing. Okay, because it requires your brain to not have to think too much. Yeah, but I also like to batch and draft content like reels and posts for when I'm not feeling it. Or I simply share funnies that I know my audience will love on Instagram. I'm still showing up without showing up, or the need to feel inspired. You're not going to feel inspired all the time. Spoiler alert. So sometimes a change of scenery is all you need to get the inspiration juices going. You know, it's one of the reasons I signed up to somewhere I was able to go and work that wasn't my office. Yeah, my productivity levels are through the flipping roof when I'm there. You might just need a simple walk around the block, or to move to another room, or to just call a friend for a minute. Just a shift in your energy can sometimes be all that's needed. So there are tons of little things that you can do outside of those moments that prepare you for the moments. You know, another reason I wanted to talk about when the inspiration doesn't hit is because it's exactly what happened with my membership. And I'm really, really glad that it took the time it did, because I wouldn't have created what I have. I so often see people not having the inspiration, but knowing they want to create something, you know, but they don't have the inspiration for their courses, their signature systems, their perfect bio. You know, I see them drive themselves nuts over it. Nuts! Yeah? If you can learn to sit in the not knowing and be patient, I promise it will come. But the more you push yourself and try to force your brain into submission, the more it'll fight you. Definition of pushing, right? Something getting further and further away. But it happened with my SOS course, and that came out way better than I would have hoped. It happened with my signature NICER framework for overcoming self-sabotage, which actually popped into my head about 4 o'clock in the morning, and I had to email it to myself so I wouldn't forget. But it's the foundation of so many things now. It happens all the time. All of those times, I had the light bulb moment that led to the snowball effect of clarity. Things that just start to click into place and make perfect sense. It's worth thinking about as well. If the inspiration really doesn't come, are you trying to force yourself to do something that actually really you don't want to do? It's always worth being honest with yourself. But I knew years ago, that I wanted a membership. I wanted that model in my business. I wanted an accessible way for people to work with me and be in my world without a 4-figure investment, but also something that I thought they would use. I never want anyone to spend any money with me if I don't think they're going to do the work, if they don't think that they're actually going to be able to use it, and I can put things in place to help them do that and also highlight the ways that they might get in their way. But I knew I wanted to start this membership, right? But I also have a high level of self-awareness, and there were certain things within the kind of standard membership model that you see out there that I just knew weren't going to work for me and my personality type, but also weren't going to work for my audience. Talking personality types, I'm a manifesting generator in human design, an Enneagram 6, an ENFJ, and individualization for Clifton strengths. Perspective is my number 1 VIA strength. And I appreciate I either just spoke another language to you or gave you a serious insight into my personality makeup right there. So instead of being frustrated about what I knew wouldn't work for me, I shifted the focus of what could work for me that could also work for my audience. Yeah. And by golly, Miss Molly, I'm glad I did, because I think I've created something really unique and really special. Yeah. And something that brings me joy. Yeah. So important. So the first thing I did that was different was I made it an app, an actual app that you can download. Yeah, I wanted it to be really accessible in people's back pockets. You can access it on your desktop or even your smart TV too. But it was really important to me to find a way to literally be in people's back pockets for when they needed it. You know, the app also lends itself to being super snackable content-wise. And I love that. And I know my audience love that because it's always the biggest feedback I get around the podcast. You know, it really fits with my ideal clients too. They are the people that, you know, they don't have hours to sit in trainings that may or may not be relevant for them. This way they get to go straight to the stuff that is right for them. And I'm not going to fluff anything up to make it seem like there's more value to it, because I value their time more. I want them to be able to know what their problem is, find the solution and go and do it. Yeah. But it also meant that if they don't want to be in the community, they don't have to. But it's there for those that do want the support, the accountability to build relationships, to be able to ask questions to me directly, to be able to get feedback, co-regulation. Yeah? And had I tried to push, I wouldn't have been able to see how amazing I could make it. You know, I would have made something that I didn't love. You know, there's also the other things that I came up with, allowing myself to sit with the lack of inspiration was, do you know what? I'd really think it would be cool to have a book club. You know, I really think it would be cool to have my recommendations on my favorite well-being products. You know, there's meditations, mindfulness exercises, journaling exercises. It's gamified for tracking progress. You can track your stress levels and start to see patterns in your behavior. You get accountability notifications. I love it. You know, to me, it feels like it solves so many issues that I personally think that there are with the traditional membership model. I see so many people signing up for memberships and then feeling guilty for not taking full advantage. It also works through a trauma-informed and self-sabotage lens. I know the things that are going to get in people's way, and I've put little things in place to try and help avoid that. You know, if I hadn't sat there and sat with this, I might have ended up with your very standard, every month there's a training, every week there's a Q&A, etc., etc. And I would have created it and hated it. And I believe my audience doesn't love that way of consuming content anymore. And the feedback has already been insane. But it took me a long time to figure out how I was going to make it work for me and my personality and work with my clients' needs and join those dots perfectly. So just go put some things in place that mean you don't need to be inspired all the time. Yeah, but also learn to allow yourself to sit in the tension of a lack of inspiration and know that you'll absolutely get there when you're ready. You absolutely will. There's no doubt in my mind. And if you do want to come and join us in the Positive Pants Toolkit app and community, then the founding members pricing goes up after the 7th of February. I'm so excited about this. And this has come from inspiration. I didn't have this until I launched it. I thought, wouldn't it be super cool if I made founding members ambassadors, that when they bring people in, they get incentives for doing it? Because I believe that they're going to be the best people to know who would be an amazing fit to be inside the community. And I'm also going to do an in-person casual meetup in the spring just for founding members. So make sure you get in there before the 7th of Feb. All the details are on my website. They're on my Instagram bio link. They're in the show notes. It's literally everywhere that you could possibly think to find it. But just sit with that for a minute. Like, you might end up with something so much better than your original idea if you allow yourself to sit in the tension of not having all the answers yet. Let the inspiration come. Put some of the things in place that I've talked about. See how they work for you. And just start to notice when you do get a moment of inspiration, what sparked it? What caused it for you? And start to have your own little checklist of the things that you do to, find that inspiration. So if you got value from this and you know in your gut that now is the time to step up and start rewiring your thinking and start changing things for yourself, then book in a free discovery call so we can work out what needs to happen to get you from where you're at right now to the action-taking success you know you can be. If you want my eyes and ears on your problems, then I work with people one-on-one and through my programs. You can find all the details to book in a call in the show notes, the link in my bio on Instagram, and on my website, franexcel.com. So stop waiting for if and when and choose to change things now because you can. I'm here to believe in you when you don't believe in yourself. And as always, I hope you found this helpful, and I'll see you next week. Bye!